With all the talk surrounding Patrick Williams and him finding some consistency, it is now being reported by Zach Lowe that this man, Patrick Williams, is seeking a big payday when it comes down to his rookie extension eligibility. So we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to dive into the mailbag. You already know. We're going to get into it, but you got to hear the music first. Cognac. Gang. Shy Bulls Podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on another episode of Shy Bulls Podcast for me and my co-host, C-Dub. If you like what you're listening to today, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and shake that notification bell so every time we drop, you'll be one of the first ones to know. Now, we all know that Patrick Williams got to eventually break out to be something to what we want and need him to be for the Chicago Bulls. But one of the ESPN analysts, NBA analysts, and Zach Lowe on his podcast, the Low Post podcast, came out and he had some discussion surrounding Patrick Williams. Pretty much said that, hey, he, end quote, pretty much saying that Patrick Williams wants big numbers, big numbers, to say the least. Like it starts with the 2 and it is 2-0 kind of stuff potentially. When he talks about that, he said pretty much saying that that's $20 million per year on an extension for Patrick Williams. And one of the players that he compared Patrick Williams to for a player who just got this type of rookie extension is Patrick Williams' former teammate from Florida State and Devin Vassell. And Devin Vassell came out and got him a 5-year, $146 million contract. And that's something that we'll have to discuss. Before we get into Patrick Williams, I want to mention that these guys that just got paid this season, their rookie extensions, you had LaMelo Ball sign a 5-year deal worth $216 million. You have Anthony Edwards signed 5 years for $216. Tyrese Halliburton pretty much signed that same type of deal. Desmond Bane got 5 years, $197. Devin Vassell signed for 5 years, $135. Isaiah Stewart for the Pistons signs for 4 years and $60 million. Then you just I believe like a week ago, we seen Peyton Pritchard go for 4 years for $30 million. But the last two with 4 years, $60 million with Isaiah Stewart and 4 years, $30 million for Peyton Pritchard is nothing what it seems like Zach Lowe is reporting on Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams, if he wants $20 million a year in 4 years, there's what, 80 million in 5 years, 100 million. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that the Bulls will have to come to terms to and decide on. You know what I'm saying? Because we just seen Kobe White sign for about a 3-year extension worth about 11 million per year. And right now, just viewing it, Patrick Williams is not ahead of Kobe White when it comes to the young players who have been flourishing on this team thus far. I know it's been preseason and things like that, but there are other things that we can point to say, hey, Patrick Williams kind of pumped the brakes. But then on the other side, I got to look at it. Hey, go get your bread, young fella. Go get your bread. Like, I can't be mad at a grown man or any type of man going out here and trying to get what they believe they're worth. You know what I'm saying? But with that type of money, when it comes to this sports stuff, these guys got to excel in different ways. Me, I say, hey, let's wait until the season plays out, and then we'll negotiate and figure out what's the best number for both sides at the end of the season. If Patrick Williams goes out here and he's able to establish himself as a consistent 4 within the Bulls team and be able to contribute night in and night out on a consistent basis, would say about 10, 12 points, and then, being able to help and be a key cog to why the Bulls are winning, maybe we can have a conversation. But if my guy's still on the roller coaster ride, having games to where he's good, then games to where he's bad, or going on bad stretches, and then you still call it for him, and then if he does get benched again this season, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you still look to extend him because the guy's still only 22 years old. So he still got a lot of, roadway before his career is over. So you look at that type of stuff. I think it's a conversation that we really, really should dive into after the season, because I want to evaluate the season in its totality. I don't want to go ahead and jump ahead of the gun and say, hey, Patrick Williams doesn't deserve this money just based off preseason. I don't want to do that. I want to do this the right way. Let this man play his 82 games, maybe even get a chance to do something and perform in the playoffs, and then we'll make that decision at that time. But as of right now, hey, it's a bit shaky. You've seen some good stuff. You've seen a lot of bad. My guy's had now 2 consecutive all seasons to where he's been healthy. He's been putting in work. He's looked like he's starting to turn it around, but can he turn it around? Because I think that the Bulls organization, if they are willing to give this man that type of money with $20 million per year, hey, he definitely has to show up. You know what I'm saying? He definitely has to show up, because if you're looking at the recent signings, Kobe White, for what I believe he's about to do, and you only got to pay him about $11 million per year. That's a steal for a guy that's about to come out here and be a starter point guard and potentially be able to be consistent enough, and who I believe will receive some votes for most improved. So we shall see. But let me know your thoughts below. Y'all think Patrick Williams is tripping? Y'all think he's right on par, or y'all gonna play it like me? Let's let him play the season out, and then we'll go from there. Let me know down below. Now we're gonna go ahead and jump into the mailbag. We got some of our favorite people calling in, and they talking that Bulls talk with us. Let's go ahead and get into this first one. This first one is from R Dub.
What's the deal? What's the deal, Cognac family? R Dub here. Forgive me. I'm a little sippy, so forgive me if I'm a little trippy on this next one. But I want to know, we taking flyers. We just picked up Derek Favors and Khalil Whitney for a camp contract. Possibly one of them or both of them could go to the G League. But what I want to know is, would y'all take a gamble on Kai Jones? Crazy. I know Buddy Ass was tweaking in that motherfucking video, but hey, yo, check it out. He got some bunnies on him. I'm talking about real springs. I'm looking at him. I'm like, hey, yo, young boy, kind of a spring chicken here. And he get up there. He about 6'11". So I'm like, hey, yo, we could do something with that. He got energy. He get up, maybe. I mean, if he a cluck, hey, let's bring some of that cluck energy over here. Y'all know y'all seen some crackhead mugs up in the hood who just get up and down on the block, and y'all like, hey. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me know what y'all think.
All right, so that's the voicemail from R Dub talking about the 2 signings that the Chicago Bulls had with Derek Favors and Khalil Whitney, who is now going to be with the G League, and then talked about Kai Jones. Hey, you talk about a gamble, I say, why not? You ain't like you got to pay him too much, and you just let go of Carlik Jones, and hey, you seen that if Drummond's not available, the Bulls really don't have a big man that they can have in the lineup. I say, hey, why not? The guy's 22 years old, 6'11", athletic, and so he gives you a different profile to the Bulls centers that you don't have on the team. This guy's able to catch lob threats. He's able to get up and block shots. He's able to shoot a few threes here and there. He's able to do a few things, and he brings a lot more athleticism to the Chicago Bulls. I think the biggest thing is exactly what you said, though, R-Dub. He was tweaking. He was tweaking on his way out from the Charlotte Hornets. And I just don't know if Billy Donovan in the front office is ready to deal with something like that. But if the Bulls are serious about player development, I say, why not give him a look? Maybe you don't give him something too crazy. Maybe you bring him in on, 1 year, something for the low, and then see what you can get out of this young guy. It's not like he's going to play crazy minutes anyway, but if you can see him develop a little bit, that'd be good. But then just to add another caveat to it, the Bulls did sign Amada Sanogo. He is a two-way player, so I don't think it will hinder it that much, but I think they will try to focus their development on him versus Kai Jones. But I'm not mad at the idea because he gives the Bulls a different profile, and he's 6'11" and athletic as hell for his size. You know what I'm saying? So if I was the Bulls, as the YouTube GM that y'all know me to be, I would say why not? We need more size on this team, and he can go ahead and at 22 years old, you can go ahead and help him adapt to your culture and see how he reacts to that. And if not, you wash your hands with the situation and call it a day. That's why you don't chalk him up or give him too much money. But hey, we shall see. Thanks for calling in, my guy. R-Dub. Appreciate you, bro. So this next one, we're going to move on and we're going to go ahead and holler at the general, Brandon L. Jet. Here's the voicemail.
Yo, what's good, Bobby and C-Dub? This is Brandon L. Jet, the General. I am here for another voicemail. In regards to mine, it's in regards to the point guard competition between Kobe White, Javon Carter, as well as Io. I was just thinking that after watching like the first few games, I think that Javon Carter is better suited for the starting lineup vice Kobe White. Now, don't get me wrong, Kobe White has been balling like a fresh tax return. But I think that Kobe is better suited for the second unit where they can feature him a little bit more from a scoring uh, perspective. Leave the defense to Caruso and Io, depending on how Billy Donovan wants to rotate that matchup. But I think that Javon Carter's outside shooting is more of a stabilizer for that first unit with Zach and DeMar on the court. Um, what are y'all thoughts about that? In my personal opinion, I think that Javon Carter is better suited for the point guard starter, vice Kobe White. All right. Thank you guys for everything that you do. Talk to you guys later. Peace.
All right. So shout out the general, Brandon L. Jet. You said after a few games, you feel like Javon Carter was better suited. And that's fine. Like, I'm not mad at that. Your take. Me personally, I believe that Kobe White has earned that starting spot. I definitely seen like a little bit more of the activity that Kobe White has brought to the Chicago Bulls this preseason. I believe he's done a better job playmaking. I believe him and Javon Carter are on the same par or same measuring line or stick, whatever you want to call it, on a defensive end. And I think I will give the nod, just like you said, I will give the nod so far to Javon Carter with the 3-point shot. But I would say Kobe is not far off. And so that's why I think that either way it go, I believe Kobe White should be the starter for them. And that's just my take on it. I know Billy Donovan hasn't officially announced it, but with him starting so many games at the point guard position, I will assume that's the case for Kobe White to go ahead and be the starter heading into the season. And Brandon L. Jet, I will add on this. One of the lineups that the Bulls been doing is having Javon Carter and Kobe White on the floor at the same time. I actually like that dynamic between them two because now you add 2 ball handlers, and if you add Ayo Dosunmu in there, that's 3 ball handlers. And we seen Alex Caruso be in there, so that's 4 ball handlers who all can defend, who all can shoot threes, and then you add your rebounding guy and Andre Drummond, and then sometimes you can pull one of the guys out and add Torrey Craig in there, Patrick Williams, and maybe if you need a little more scoring power, prowess, you can add one of your big guys up in there, and DeMar or Zach. So I honestly like it, and hey, we just gonna see, man. We just gonna see. We getting ready to roll into the season, so we shall see. Thanks for calling in, General. Appreciate you always supporting us, man. No matter what we do. Shout out to you, my guy. This next one, voicemail, is going to be from a guy who be turned in the live calls. Bulls Daily has called in to let us know what he think about the Chicago Bulls. Here's the voicemail.
Yeah, this Bulls Daily again. I don't know what happened. I think my phone just went out or something, but I was just saying pretty much that we need to see more aggressiveness from P. Will. He has to be more aggressive if this team is gonna be able to take that next step and that next level and what we trying to become. I know we probably far away from a championship team right now, but if we at least want to make it out the first round, P. Will has to be more aggressive. He got to, folks. I'm tired of this nigga not mounting to nothing. It's been 4 years. I'm starting to get impatient. I understand the first couple years you was edging, woo woo. Jim, you got your problems. All right, that's all cool and fine to do. But now it's year 4. I think this man played damn near a whole season last year. Something like that. We got to see more aggressiveness from him. We got to. I know he out there pretty much robotic. He's a mute. I don't know what he is, but all I know is that he's living up to the Kawhi name a little bit, other than showing it on the basketball court. He's quiet. He don't talk much. He don't do no interviews with media. And when he does do them, it kind of seems like it's rehearsed. Every answer is kind of rehearsed already. I just want to see more aggressiveness from P. Will. I feel like this team will go very far and just not coming up the court, just shooting mid range. I feel like he needs to attack the basket a lot more, get to the free throw line when you open, shoot your threes. And another thing P. Will need is confidence. I feel like he has no confidence at all. But that's all I was just trying to say. It's your boy, Boys Daily, Southside Chicago, Lil Wayne to be exact. I'm out of here.
Shout out to Bulls Daily for calling in. Appreciate you, my God. Thanks you so much for supporting the channel. But hey, I think you spoke a lot on P. Will, and I think you're right, man. He does need that confidence. But one thing I can respect is that when they talked about why he was pulled so early in the previous game, against the Raptors, they talked about, hey, he pretty much came out and said, hey, I told coach, if I ain't got it, pull me out the game. And don't say anything that's gonna make it seem like you sugarcoating what's actually happening out there for me. Keep it a buck. Be real with me. Tell me like it is. To me, that shows maturity. And I think that's the first step in the right direction for Patrick Williams. Just like you said, he needs to build that confidence. He needs to build that consistency because he did play 82 games last season. He is a fourth overall pick for the Chicago Bulls. He is a guy that has all the intangibles. He is a guy, excuse me, he is a guy that we've seen plenty of times get it, you know what I'm saying? Get his opportunities without Zach, without DeMar on the floor, and be able to flourish and get 20 points, 25 points, 30 points. You know what I'm saying? And no one is asking him to do that every night alongside the big three. Let's just be consistent. And like you said, he big as hell. Attack the basket, get to the foul line, and earn some easy ones. You know what I'm saying? Earn some easy ones. That's why in the last game, you know what I'm saying? The last game against the Minnesota Vikings of the Minnesota T-Wolves of the preseason, I wish Zach LaVine was present. Simply because if Zach LaVine was present and he was doing this, we can be like, okay, he's taking a step forward. But Zach LaVine wasn't present, so his role had to increase a little bit at least. So I want to see if he can do it with everyone present in the lineup. So I'm hoping that in game one against, you know what I'm saying, once we tip off and get ready and play our game next week, that Patrick Williams really shows up and is able to be aggressive. It's not always about jump shots. You know what I'm saying? That's one part of it, but he could still do other things. You could be diving to the basket. You could be crashing the boards. You could be penetrating and getting the paint and driving and kicking. You can do so many other things, Patrick Williams. So we just want to see you go ahead and put it on wax and go ahead and get the job done. Boys Daily, thanks for calling in, my guy. Now we move in to the last voicemail of the day. This one is from my guy, Big O.
The word is Big O again, fellas, man. Them damn 3 minutes be going by fast. Damn, 3 minutes going by fast. But let me hurry up because I'm wasting time. Another point I wanted to make on Patrick is, like I said, Patrick got to figure out, because it looked like that's what it is with him. He don't know when to go. You know what I mean? When you should always be on go. He needs to always be on go. Trying to find this spot playing next to DeMar and Zach, Vooch, and then this Billy Donovan offense. And that's why I say, like, everything ain't for everybody. That's why Laurie Marketer went in other systems and played in different environments and exceeded. We see it all the time. You know what I mean? Just say, if it was to happen, if Patrick was to be moved at some point in the next few years, because I want to say this. I mean, you guys talked about it. I ain't get a chance to touch up on it yet. I will on my podcast, but we already talking about how Phillips is already looking better than Dalen Terry, and he may get minutes over Terry, right? The next thing is Phillips might be coming for Patrick Williams' spot. You know what I mean? Because nobody really talking about that yet, but he could be a potential Patrick Williams replacement if the Bulls and the Patrick Williams marriage don't pan out. Now, I'm not saying like it's going to happen recently, like it ain't. I expect Patrick Williams to get extension here with the Bulls, but somewhere along down the line, if Phillips showing that he can be the legit four or just an overall better player, that could be where we could be looking at one day in the Bulls' future, where Phillips comes from Patrick Williams' spot. So, the guy could play, man. I like. It's a lot to like about Patrick Williams, but once he unlock this mental block, you know what I mean? I get it. He ain't gonna have a great game every game. I get it. Just bring the energy. Craig don't score a lot of points. Javante Green don't score a lot of points at times, but you can still feel that energy when he's on the court. You know what I mean? He has to figure out what he's going to be good at and just go for it. You know what I mean? Let the rest of his game work itself out. But yeah, I tap in with you guys on the next one.
Appreciate you, Big O. Thanks for calling in and doing what you do, my guy. Thanks for supporting the channel, and I'm 100% with you, bro. Patrick Williams, you got to get it together. And I think, like I said, the biggest thing with any young player is consistency. Whether C-Dub pretty much came out and said this is going to be a season a season that defines who Patrick Williams is. Is he going to be a 3-and-D type of player? Is he going to go ahead and be a little bit more than that, like an all-star caliber type of player? I know Patrick Williams said that he wants to be a superstar in this league. I think he's going to have to take major leaps to get to superstardom. But as of right now, we still don't know what he really is. We know that so far he's kind of shaping into that 3-and-D type of player. But I think he can be so much more than that if he does what everybody wants him to do, and that's be aggressive. That is really that simple. It's really that simple. Because in the early minutes of the first game, of the last game that they played against the T-Wolves, the very first play, he dribbled baseline and dunked. That's the type of stuff you want to see. I want to see him continue to do things like that. Bro, you big as hell, athletic, strong as hell, strong as shit. So, you know what I'm saying? Do what R-Dub said. Let's go out here and have some cluck energy. If you don't know what a cluck is, hey, all my Chicago people, you know what a cluck is. You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of energy Patrick Williams need to have. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying go do no yapper, but let's bring some cluck energy. You got to have some energy, Patrick Williams. But hey, that's it for me today. Appreciate all the guys that called in and left their take on the Chicago Bulls thus far. Make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you want to be a part of an episode like this one right here, a mailbag episode, call in 773-242-9219. Leave your take, and you going to pop up on the video just like this one here. And that's it for me today, man. Shy Boys Podcast, y'all already know. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Cognac. Gang.